So let me give y'all some clarity on the saga between Kendrick Perkins and Jalen Rose. They were in a shouting match on ESPN Get Up. Greeny had to play referee. Hell, Greeny even left this presentation. Now, just to give y'all guys a little backstory to, because I know there's going to be a lot of Kendrick Perkins fans that's going to say Jalen Rose was wrong, and vice versa. Basically, these two guys have a history, okay? These two guys, every time they're in a segment, they're snapping back at each other, okay? Now, when I say snapping back, I'm not talking about yelling at one another. I'm just simply saying they joke at one another, okay? And just lighthearted jokes that they're harmless jokes, but they do snap back at each other. So apparently, Jalen Rose was not only snapping back at Kendrick Perkins like he normally do, but he talked about all Kendrick Perkins, claims that the Phoenix Suns were supposed to be this dynasty. The Bucks should fire their head coach. They should have a whole new different strategy. Giannis is more of a Robin on the team. Some outrageous takes, okay? And Jalen Rose was calling him to the carpet saying, hey, all those takes and all those comments that you were saying about the Milwaukee Bucks and how you was big upping the Phoenix Suns, talking about they are a dynasty, which clearly that's a laughable. That's just all out laughable, okay? I just don't know how the Phoenix Suns are all of a sudden becoming a dynasty with a 35-year-old point guard, but that's neither here nor there. But Jalen Rose was going ham on Kendrick Perkins. And, instead of just Kendrick Perkins, and then Kendrick Perkins snapped back as well, talked about basically alluding to Jalen Rose has a toupee on top of his head. Jalen Rose said that's all his real hair. I really don't care. Even though Jalen Rose hit him with the pastor suit, Kendrick Perkins wear a pastor suit. And this thing went from Get Up all the way into social media because people on Twitter was adding Kendrick Perkins. And Kendrick Perkins was basically all in his feelings. And a lot of people, you're going to always have your trolls, but then you're also going to have people that have legit gripes about you, particularly your comments about the Milwaukee Bucks, how your comments were totally off left field. Now, he did say on Get Up as well as on social media, he talked about how, he thought the Bucks was going to be in the conference finals, okay? I don't know how much credit you want to give him for that, particularly for all the other comments that he has said. And then the unthinkable happened. This man tweets about everybody's praying for his downfall. They want him fired at ESPN. They don't want to allow a man to breathe. They're all on his back. They're biting. This, that, and the third, to where Jalen Rose basically had to apologize on social media and, basically explaining to him that, I just cut up with you like we always been cutting up, okay? I don't know why your feelings are all, your feelings are now towards, I want to see you get fired. I'm praying for your downfall, which Jalen Rose clearly never said anything like that in the Get Up presentation, nor on social media. Okay, I dare anyone to find a comment or a tweet from Jalen Rose saying that, he's praying for Kendrick Perkins' downfall, or he no longer should be working at the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. I just feel like Kendrick Perkins was all in his feelings and he was soaking. All because of all these comments he was making against the Milwaukee Bucks that they should do this, that, and the third. And also, he's taking a hit on basketball. Like, a lot of people are making the, claim that is he even knowledgeable about basketball, because these was just totally out of bounds takes that he had about the Milwaukee Bucks. Similar to another former ex-basketball player that used to do commentary at the Worldwide Leader of Sports, Ryan Hollins. He made some ridiculous, outlandish claims, and I don't even see him on ESPN, okay? I don't even see him at Fox Sports 1. And, I don't know why Kendrick Perkins believes that Jalen Rose is praying for his downfall, or Jalen Rose is just being a hater. He's just pointing out the obvious, that you was wrong about all your takes about the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I do have some insight. And I think this thing, I think the rabbit hole goes a little bit deeper between Kendrick Perkins and Jalen Rose. And not a lot of people are even talking about it or even aware about it. But do anyone remember when that leak audio of Rachel Nichols appeared on social media? And you had people on both sides of the fence, either being a supporter of Maria Taylor or a supporter of Rachel Nichols, and you saw this huge influx of people supporting Rachel Nichols. Okay, now I will say this: that leak audio was recorded, in my opinion, illegally. Okay, now if we start recording people's conversations, we're going to have a secret recording people conversations secretly. We got a huge problem here, folks. We have a huge problem. Okay, particularly at the workplace. All right, I'm not co-signing to that. I don't think that's acceptable. But nevertheless, the audio did come out. Okay, so, but you had a huge influx of people gravitating to Rachel Nichols. You had Stackhouse, and Kendrick Perkins was also a supporter of Rachel Nichols. And a lot of people that were supporting Rachel Nichols are getting backlash because of it on social media. All right. Steven Jackson just got out of the Kwame Brown debate. Okay. And he was not looking too good on that. And then he just volunteers himself into this Maria Tate versus Rachel Nichols thing, when he should be the one that should be out of this, okay? Because you just got out of hot water with Kwame Brown. You're already radioactive, okay? You should just stay off of social media for a bit. Take a vacation, okay? Do what you got to do, all right? But no, he went from one situation that painted him in a negative light to another situation that's even painting him into a bigger negative light and a huger target on his back. And he was a huge supporter of Rachel Nichols. And he bigged up Rachel Nichols a lot. Now, I will say he did say some positive things about Maria Taylor, but he was really bigging up Rachel Nichols. He pretty much, there was a line drawn in the sand, and he was on the Rachel Nichols side. And Kendrick Perkins was one of those individuals that were bigging up Rachel Nichols. Okay. Now Jalen Rose, on the other hand, was a huge supporter of Maria Taylor. Okay. So much so that he was the ones that was asking ESPN. I mean, was in a discussion of keeping Maria Taylor at ESPN. Now, Maria Taylor, since the NBA Finals are over with, Maria Taylor is going elsewhere, and a lot of speculation is pointing out that she's going to sign a multi-year deal with NBC Sports. I don't know if she's getting the $8 million that she was asking for over there at NBC Sports. If she gets anything close to 5, which that was her original offer, well, that's what the ESPN was going to give her, and she turned that down. If she gets anything close to 5, I think she should just take that and run with it. All right. But nevertheless, Kendrick Perkins was a huge supporter of Rachel Nichols. And ever since then, he's been getting constant backlash of his support of Rachel Nichols. And I feel like all this ties in. So he was already feeling a certain kind of way because of that. And now you got Jalen Rose just cocking back on you on live television, talking about your comments, which, by the way, Kendrick Perkins, the mic was on. You knew the mic was on. You had your takes. You could have easily saved your takes or savor your takes at a later date. But you was really going to bat for the Phoenix Suns. You're calling them a dynasty. That was a wild take. The Milwaukee coach, I forgot, Budenholzer, I think that's his name. Guys, I butcher people's names. I apologize. But you said that he should be fired. They should just change their scheme, which Jalen Rose clearly said in that presentation. They didn't even really change up their scheme. Stuff just started clicking and coming together. All right. You just got to give things time. All right. Look, everybody wants to change up on the fly, particularly when they're down the hole, or, particularly when they're down, and people want to automatically just change up their strategy. And I feel like that's the worst thing you can do, particularly when you are when you're in the finals or the Super Bowl. You should just play it through. You done played it through the whole entire regular season this way. You played it through the whole entire playoffs this way. So why switch up now? Okay, keep what's working, because whatever you got that was working got you to this point in the first place. I feel like if they would have just, fell into what people wanted them to do, like Kendrick Perkins, and just switched it up and just did something totally off left field, they would have lost this series just on that strategy alone, in my personal opinion. But, everything just started to click. All right. Everything that was working for them in the regular season and in the playoffs, and to a certain extent to the finals, it started working. All right. So you have to give it time. You have to give it growth. You have to give it development. And Kendrick Perkins was on the other end of that spectrum, talking about they should just change things up. Giannis is just a Robin, which I heard that comment a time or two. This, that, the third. But you was just wrong. Instead of just Kendrick Perkins saying, you know what, I was wrong. Okay. Every dog has his day. I was wrong about that. And, if you want to snap back at Jalen Rose on anything like that, that's fine. But even in that presentation, Kendrick Perkins was backtracking, and he really didn't want to stay focused on the comment at hand, which was all the ridiculous takes he had about the Milwaukee Bucks. All right. So apparently he was all in his feelings. He got on social media, people praying for my downfall, and people are haters. And look, if I would have said half the stuff Kendrick Perkins said, I would be roasted not only on YouTube, but on social media. Okay. And guess what I would have to do? I have to sit there and take it. All right. There's no rhyme. I couldn't, I can explain why I took that take, but at the end of the day, I was wrong about that take. I don't understand why it's so hard to just say you was just wrong. Okay. But apparently it's hard to say that when you are a sports analyst or NBA analyst, and you just feel like if by saying that I'm wrong, then I'm weak. That doesn't mean you're weak. I feel like you're weak when you're in your feelings and you're making tweets about people are praying for your downfall and people are haters. He's going to sidestep this, of course. He's going to say, no, I wasn't talking about Jalen Rose, this, that, and the third. But obviously somebody got to Jalen Rose at ESPN, and they just told him, spitting him facts about Kendrick Perkins and how he was feeling at that particular time. Because I'm pretty sure Kendrick Perkins talked to someone at ESPN about his treatment, how Jalen Rose is treating him on the one-on-one presentation on Get Up, and he did not like it. And someone got to Jalen Rose, and Jalen Rose issued an apology on social media. He also said he was going to issue an apology at ESPN. Feel like that's the right thing to do to help Kendrick Perkins and his bruised ego. And he's all in his feelings. That's fine if he wants to do that. But my personal opinion, I don't think Jalen Rose I wouldn't have done that, okay? But I know one thing. If I was Jalen Rose moving forward, as far as with Kendrick Perkins, I'm going to stay on arm's length with him. I'm not even going to snap to him. I'm not going to be joking back with him because, obviously that hurts him. I'm not going to point out the things that he was wrong in because obviously he just not man enough to take criticism. All right. He's just one of those softies that's softer than continental tissue. And, it's kind of funny that, he can snap back and joke. He can give jokes, but he can't take jokes. And everyone knows people like this. We all know people like this at work, school, church, wherever. They love giving out jokes, but they hate taking a joke, okay? And I think this is what exactly went on with Kendrick Perkins and Jalen Rose. I know a lot of people in the comment section is going to say this, that, and the third, try to sidestep, try to, make this make sense. Sort of, and this, that, and the third. There's something more to it. Now, I will say what I said earlier in this video about the Maria Taylor and Rachel Nichols thing. I'm just speculating, but I do have people that are telling me that that's really the root of this issue and this tension between Jalen Rose and Kendrick Perkins. Okay, I don't know this to be true. Okay, but I just wanted to give you that take on this particular video that may have something to do with it. It may not have nothing to do with it, but, someone told me this is exactly what, they're beefing about. It has nothing to do with the takes that Kendrick Perkins was delivering on ESPN about the Milwaukee Bucks. But you never know. And I kind of co-signed to it. I kind of agree to it, but, it could be just this man is just salty and he just in his feelings. I feel like it's much more than that. He's been taking a lot of criticism for the past couple of weeks, all right? So, anywho, that's all I got for today's video, guys. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. Deuces.